Yo, what's up, guys? This is Justin. Gonna thank you guys for making me a part of today. Using the MacBook for this one, so it's gonna be a little bit different. Hopefully, you guys. I mean, the HD was cool, the SLR was cool, but I wasn't really interested in seeing every damn pimple, pore on my face. I mean, you can probably still see them, but it's I'm really self conscious about that, right? So it's been a quick minute since I made a video, but I'm gonna make a real quick one just for the teachers out there. So I mean, if you're not a teacher, you can still benefit from this, okay? So I'll make it super quick. I was gonna make some like 5 myths about teaching, but they're not really myths. They're just things that you might misconceptions maybe, or just weird things that you might not have known. Okay, I think I want to make this a series. Try to bring in some other educators, right? Some good educators to do this. But what we're gonna do is talk a little bit about a few things. I put them in order. These are just things that a lot of non-educators don't know about teaching it. And here's the reason why is because when I do this, if you, I'm guessing you guys have Facebook. I'm guessing almost every single one of you guys have Facebook, right? And just sometimes whenever somebody talks about teaching that's not a teacher, I just kind of I give this face like, I don't like that, And so I just wanted to break it down for teachers and non-teachers alike that there are a few things that maybe you weren't aware of, man. Maybe a few things where you're like, oh yeah, I didn't really think about it that way. So we'll go ahead and break down. Okay, the first part is going to be the pay system. This is going to be on my first two topics right here. Okay, as far as the pay goes, you don't, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well you guys get summers off and you only work till 3 o'clock. All right. The problem when you think about that, if you're a non-educator, we don't get paid for the summer. Okay, what happens is that we're contracted, 185 days roughly. Okay, so some school districts might be more, it might be like 190, or some might be less, like it might be 180. So what happens in your contract is that it'll say like, so if you're in a really poor school district, it'll be like, we'll give you 30 grand for 185 days worth of work. All right. And really what it is that most Americans probably work anywhere from 225 days. That's what a normal person works, right? So 30 grand is not that much starting out, but it's really only for about 9 months, okay, or 185 work days. Now, so what they do is that they take that, and I've heard from other people that it's actually, they have the option to split this, so they can actually get it, in 9 months, the months they work or not. Where I worked at before, we had to take it over 12 months. And that's another thing too that you might not realize is that because if they spread it out over 12 months, me as an employee is basically giving them a loan because I'm not working, I'm being paid when I'm not working, right? Instead of getting it all up front. So it's like, instead of getting $10 up front, right? What they're doing is basically giving me like $10, like $9 now, and they're going to give me that $1 later. And so a lot of you guys may not think that's a big deal, but when there's all these teachers and you're basically giving them an interest-free loan, okay? Because I'm not getting that money, okay? So like right before summer, if I got all my money, right, that's interest, okay? Because there's probably, if you make 30 grand, you're making, that summer is probably going to be roughly like 6 grand or something, or 7 grand, right? That you should get up front, but you're spreading it out for the school district. So that's an interest-free loan right there, okay? So when you say we don't get summers off, we actually do work. We have like either summer school jobs or we'll get another job, but we don't get paid for that. So next time you want to throw that out at some party, like, oh yeah, you guys get summers off, just remember we don't get paid for that. You know what I mean? And so while the time off is great, while that's off, I would rather just teach another class, and get paid extra money. And that's what I did for like the first 5 years of school, or first 5 years that I was teaching, because at summer school. But that was the thing about summer school, is that we made $25 an hour, right? Like per hour. And you're probably thinking like, wow, that's a lot of money. I was like, well, that was $25 per hour in 2005. It's still $25 an hour now. So it's like, it's just enough. I mean, you got to think about it. You need a teacher that is qualified, certified in whatever subject area. So it's a pretty good deal for the school. It really should be around $30 to $35 an hour, because you're basically providing a service based off of Title I funding. But anyways, that's the summers off thing. Another thing too is that a lot of non-teachers or non-educators, they'll say like, well, teaching's easy, you guys complain about a lot of things, but all you guys do is teach and sit in the back of the classroom and do all this stuff. So you guys should be paid that, right? Now, you're probably saying you probably are like, I've never heard anybody say that, Justin, but I think you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that think teachers are lazy. There's a lot of people that think teachers are stupid. There's a lot of people that think, this, and this, okay? But the popular opinion is that, we want to pay teachers more. We want to pay teachers more. We really care about education. We really care about all these programs, right? But when those taxes start to creep up, you guys are like, I like teachers a lot, but I don't like them that much where I want to be paying some more taxes, right? So I've had students and parents to my face tell me, like, we don't think that you guys deserve to, get this levy because you guys don't know how to manage your money, and you guys should have to pay for that. And I was like, okay, that's your opinion. You're wrong, but that's your opinion, right? But the point that I'm making for this second part is this. The pay is low. The pay kind of sucks. And we might not be responsible, because I know a lot of professionals would be like, well, I'm responsible. Like if the bank does this, and we lose this money, people can lose their jobs over this, right? So there is inherently a lot more responsibility when you guys talk about different jobs. Now, in terms of the pay for the job of teaching, it would be a good job if teaching was the only thing I had to do. Do you understand? So like, if my job only consisted of like taking content, delivering it, giving it to the kids, and testing it, if it was just that, like if that's all you had to do, then it would be like a pretty cool job. It'd be a really easy job because you wouldn't have to do a lot of other things, right? But you ask any teacher, they'll tell you right now, like, it's kind of like one of those things where you're like a lot of people, I would imagine everybody's been in a relationship, right? And, or they've been, married. Let's say you can talk to your parents about this if you've been married before, right? If you're married or divorced, or you are married right now, let's say you just got married. A lot of people think like marriage is going to be one thing, right? It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And it is. There's parts of marriage that are great and wonderful, and it's a beautiful thing, right? But there's a lot of things that people don't know that go on in a marriage that make a marriage work, okay? Marriage is more than just, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. It's way more than that, okay? Anybody that thinks it's just based on love, they're wrong, or they've never been married before. And that's kind of the same thing about any job or teaching in general. So it's like, like one of my ex-girlfriends, if you're a doctor, right, you think it's going to be like ER on TV where you run through the ER, like, I need 20 cc's of blah, blah, stat, and I need this stat, and you're saving lives all the time. And like, that happens like 1% out of the 99%, unless you're an ER doc, right? But what people don't know is that a lot of doctors, their job all the time is dictating and paperwork. That's it. It gets boring. Like, it's just, you write, because it's liability. I mean, people can die. So you have to be specific with your notes. That's why doctors have really bad handwriting. Okay. So that's the thing. That's kind of the point I'm making with teaching, is that teaching's cool and teaching's fun. If I just had to sit at the top of in front of the room and stand and deliver, and then I was like, peace, that would be a great job. And I would be like, yeah, this is the greatest job ever. But, I got to worry about parents, right? I got to worry about administration. I got to worry about the State Department hitting standards and preparing them for tests. Standardized test scores they're not a big deal, but it's a lot of pressure on the students and the teachers, okay? I got to worry about the personality of the classroom. I got to manage the classroom, right? I got to worry about IEPs and 504s, which a lot of people that don't teach, they don't know what either of these are. IEPs and 504s, that's legal liability that I can get into that you would have no idea the amount of training that you need to handle those. I got to worry about students that are jerks. I got to worry about students that are being abused by their parents. I got to worry about students that are poor. I got to worry about students, you got to worry about all these things that a lot of people think that teachers don't worry about, right? So I got to worry about, I've bought school supplies for kids that had no business. They had no money, right? And I made it a point, like I was like, look, man, come after school when nobody's around, so nobody knows that I did this for you, because I don't want you to be embarrassed. Like, you got to do stuff like that. Like, it's weird. Like, you think it's just teaching, right? You think it's just going to be teaching and having fun, and like it's going to be like Freedom Riders or something. Like, we're going to be dancing in a line and like dancing and all that stuff, right? It's nothing like that. Okay, that's the movies right there. Okay, but yeah. So you think about it, you can pay $30,000 to be like a psychologist, a counselor, and all these other things, and and if everybody was cool about it, I'd be one thing. But no, everybody's like, yo, teachers need to do this. You guys ain't doing enough of that. And I'm like, come on, man. That's why teachers don't last very long, okay? I got to keep going because it's going to be a long video. We're already at 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, this is, I'm not even going to talk about that because I was going to talk about the difference between the male dynamic and female dynamic. In general, women will always have it more difficult in terms of students. I think in the secondary level, okay, in the secondary level. So it's, I've had great female teachers that were way better than males, but in general, like students and young children, they just fear, like, they don't fear them, but there is a bigger respect factor in that, okay? I'll talk about that later. We'll end it right there because this other one was about kind of like specific teaching things. So recapping, we don't get summers off, okay? I'll go one more topic. We don't get summers off, and the job is way more than just, 1 + 1 = 2. So when you start thinking like that, before you write on Facebook, like, yo, you teachers don't even do anything, you might want to think about it just before you hit send or post or whatever like that, right? Oh, yeah, another thing, we'll wrap this up real quick. I'll do this in 1 minute. The one thing that you will be surprised about as a teacher is that kids have never really gotten under my skin. I'm a pretty, like, strict person, but adults, you would be surprised some of the things adults will do and say to another grown adult that's a professional that's in charge of their child's future, okay? I know it's angry. I know you really like your child, but, as an adult and a mature... Because one thing is that if you say those things to me, I'm just guessing what you say about me in front of your kid, right? If you don't respect me as like a human being first, I can't do anything for your child, okay? So we'll wrap it up there. If you're a teacher, put your comments in there. If you guys enjoyed this video, please click like. Please spread the video on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And other than that, I'm Justin. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.